Hey guys, welcome back to LS Vintage Design. How's everyone doing? Today we are going to talk fall and vintage. How can you marry the two into your style? Now if you notice, my table looks way different than previous fall videos. It doesn't have the fall colors, but it does, because here's the deal. Fall colors don't have to be restricted to the yellows, the browns, and the oranges. It doesn't. There's a lot of green during fall, and you can mix in the browns and the creams with another color, and it'll be unique, it'll be different. I did pink because I'm all about the pink right now, okay? Seriously. But what on this table is vintage versus what is not? And this glass bowl with the pumpkins, that's a vintage anchor hocking bowl. Very understated, very simple, but it's a great way if you want to add vintage into a setting. Also, what is vintage is this tablecloth. It was, my grandmother's tablecloth eons ago, still perfect shape, and it's pink, and it just adds. Now, I threw on a modern cheesecloth, and it ties the pink with the fall. You've got the gradients from pink all the way to brown. Then I threw in this lovely arrangement off Amazon, and it's got the fall colors, the browns, the burgundies mixed in with the pinks and creams. And that's an idea for you if you don't want to do a traditional fall, but you can still use vintage. Here's also the deal. You can find green vintage and mix that in with whatever you want. If you didn't want to do a clear vintage bowl because you thought, hey, if I'm going to use vintage, I want people to know it's vintage, then by all means, use one of the depression glass green bowls, candy dishes. That would make an amazing setting. In fact, let me go get mine and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, subtle vintage. Look, subtle vintage. You don't want to do it in your face, everything vintage. You want to add elements. Vases are the perfect way to go. These are vintage mid-century modern swung vases. Because of the way they're made, the glass blowers swing them around. And I just happen to have some that are in fall colors. Set this on a table, in a room, anywhere. Put either dried flowers or flowers of your choice in them. They're a beautiful way to bring fall decor into any home. And if you have a modern home, because they're mid-century modern, they have very clean lines. Even though they're vintage, they'll work perfectly in your home. Another way to add vintage to your holidays or to your fall, without being over the top and, in your face vintage, is to find some of the gold amber glasses, drinking set. I have the teapot with the tea glasses. You can do holiday drinks in these. You can do iced coffees, but just the glass itself conveys vintage, but it also conveys fall because of the beautiful color and the beautiful texture on these glasses. Now, I talked about the green depression glass. Let me show you what I was talking about. Now, this is green depression glass candy dish, but it would make a beautiful centerpiece or decor in your home. The color screams fall. Because remember, fall is not just orange, yellows, and browns. There's a lot of evergreens, so green is a perfect fall color. But if you wanted to make it more of a star, in your home, you could take the lid off, fill it with pumpkins, fill it with something dried, fill it with, a date, a nut, something different. Or if you wanted to do traditional little orange pumpkins, that would be beautiful as well. And again, you could set that on a table and have it be the star of the show. So you are not limited when it comes to using hints of vintage in your fall decor. Lastly, you can use a vintage crafts to create your own fall decor. I had a vintage owl, very fall, but somebody bought it. But even these where they're the jarred fruits, you know, canning was for the fall. You did it in the summer, but you enjoyed the fruits of your labor in the fall. So doing something like this and hanging it on a wall or displaying on easels, that's also a great way to bring fall into your home without being over the top and get your hint of vintage in. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, just bringing in a hint of fall, a hint of vintage, marrying them together, creating a look that you will love in your space. Thank you for being here. Take care, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye.